internet, and there was no wireless. Network engineers, NOC engineers from 2000 to 2005 were one of the most paid and most sought after skills. Why? Every office wanted to wire itself up. The lawyers that 1 year after Facebook was created realized that your photograph will no longer just sit at your mantelpiece, and data privacy and data protection. The lawyers that began to qualify in that. We can see so many things so simply that are shifting and changing. So the idea of this slide is to tell you that there are so many jobs that are moving. And if you cannot, you are not just, if you're just selling your existing IP, just selling your knowledge, and the industry is moving, new technology is coming in everywhere, how are you going to be competitive on the market? When it comes to the Internet of Things, the future, some of the big trends, and again, what COVID has done is put the gas, the foot on the gas. And the Internet of Things, I think for generations like the Millennial Generation X, or even a little bit with me, struggling because I came before, I had to go to the library and get my notes when I went to university. You find baby boomers, people who are in a more senior level, have had to really adapt to understanding what is Slack, what is Trello, what is, WebEx, Zoom. Really, Internet of Things has been thrust into the workplace and will continue to be. AI, I can't explain enough how much AI. You have insurance companies who have AI agents who just do the claims. You've got customer service that are doing part AI. All of websites have chat box. If I right now go to McDonald's in the UK, London, I order my food self-service. There's one person in the kitchen. I come around, get my order, I'm gone. From my order, just there alone, immediately goes to the stock. It updates the inventory, it updates accounts payable, accounts receivable. All the people that may have been in that process have been eliminated. So AI is really revolutionizing. Also, innovation in the workplace. Again, COVID has pressed, you see, Amazon has launched 3,000 jobs in South Africa as their customer services. I don't know where I read recently, I think it might be Safaricom, one big company that is using shared services is moving all of their customer services permanently into your house and your living room. We are moving away from just having that permanent office. For example, we've got things like Nairobi Garage, Ikigai in Kenya. We've got WeWork in the UK, where you don't even need laptops. You literally just go, you access, everything is on cloud. You've got desks on there, etc. And of course, we've got lots of employee well-being. It's even before COVID, we are much more comfortable talking about toxicity, well-being, how important it is to have a happy employee, more productive. And again, this is just going to continue more and more. And of course, employees are going to be brand advocates. We as consumers are brand advocates, and as employees will be employer advocates. What do I mean by that? Just look at Glassdoor. This is where employees are now becoming advocates. If I want to buy a pair of headsets and I go on Amazon or Jumia, I might put my price range in there, but ultimately what will make me click on a product is how many people or posted or what else on it. So consumers have those I want you to realize that the future of work is going to bring in new industries. And when new industries are coming, the organizational structure has shifted. And once the organizational structure shifts, so do the employees underneath it. So for example, one I have not included here is retail and e-commerce. Let's say I'm a business owner and I sell fabulous shoes and I have 5 big shops in all of the top shopping malls. What kind of staff do I need to hire? I need to hire people that are customer focused, who can take stock, and maybe a merchandiser, but really somebody who is going to be meeting and greeting the customers. I am that same business owner, still selling the same fabulous shoes, but now I'm doing it via an app, or I'm now doing it online. What kind of staff do I need to hire? I need to hire website developers, social media managers, photographers, content creators. It's still the same business. How we are consuming it has shifted substantially. So what I'm always asking people is be focused on where there is new industries. If you go into traditional industries, you are not likely to be picking up some of the skills that are more sought after. So what are the jobs that are dying over the next few years? Self-driving cars are available right now. You can purchase them. I can get a self-driving Uber in London, in New York. A lot of that is going to become. You see, whilst we think, a lot of these things are happening in the outside world, you'll be surprised how quickly it will hit here. Farmers, of course, you will have self-driving tractors. You'll send a drone to have a look at everything. Printers and publishers, some of it we can see. Travel agents, even the military, because of the drones, you no longer need to go, you can fly your drones and fly anywhere. One job that I have not put here, for example, is actors. You see, 20 years ago, we did not have reality TV show or all this high level of animation, and we didn't have the Kardashians, and it was very, very different. Actors had a lot of power with it. So when we look at things like accountants and lawyers, they will never fully disappear. But anything that is repetitive, your accounts payable, accounts receivable, anything in the legal where it's just contracting and conveyancing, anything that is very simplified will be removed. What are the jobs that are upcoming? Somebody has to fix the robots, fly these drones, load the drones, whatever else. But really, robot manufacturers and service, anybody that has that mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, all combined with IT. Of course, raw material management, Africa has some of the biggest role, and you need raw material for manufacturing. Big data and AI. Every time you pick up your phone and you flick and you do something, you've just created more and more data. We are giving away so much control. Every time you download an app, they can access your phone, they can access your audio, they can access, we give away so much control. And all of this, apparently we're being listened to in a very large number. Wheelchair, you might have this whole robot that just carries you around. There's so much that's happening around artificial body manufacturing. We live longer. We are living much longer lives. Therefore, we will need some of our body parts replaced. Of course, esports. I don't think most people realize that if you combine all of Hollywood and all of the music industry in America combined, esports still makes more money, and especially the new generation. And because we are going to be more isolated or working from home or whatever else, of course, psychologists and therapists will come a great deal here. Gene designer babies. This is happening already in so many countries. In China, where they really encourage for you to have that artificial insemination because they want to remove all genetic defects to start with. Virtual reality, we are beginning to see already our personalities in avatars. When I purchase a house, I'll put a virtual reality. I can go traveling, virtual reality. I can have meetings and interviews, and who is going to build all of this virtual reality? Of course, cybersecurity and private data brokerage. Thieves are going to just become more modern. They're always going to be there. So really anything to do with cybersecurity at all levels, private data brokerage, even entertainment. As I said, there will be some jobs that will always be too small for automation. So there are lots. Today, we are finding some of the most sought after skills right now. And if you look at, for example, number 15, 16, and 17, Perl, Python, Ruby, Perl, these are app languages. How many of you use apps on a regular basis, from WhatsApp to Facebook to any kind of app, whatever it may be? We are using apps. They are changing the way we exercise, the way we meditate, the way we do so many things. So whatever the skill is going, so user UX, UI, user interface, how is that traveling of the customer through your website? SEO, SEM, marketing campaigns, you can really begin to see why these are really sought after. Even Python is a machine learning language. So what I'm trying to say for the future of work is this: ask yourself, am I just selling my current skills? Am I in a position? We no longer just have to go and get a degree. Education is no longer, I have to go and get another master's. You can combine, and I'm always saying you are not your job title, you are not your degree or your industry, you are a set of competencies. If you are a very good auditor, you have such a good eye for detail. That means anything to do with big data, or sorting out data, or sifting it to make it look, there is a competency there. So we have to think about it all differently. Now, moving to the gig economy, you are finding that a lot of the millennials don't want to spend their life. Millennials don't want, they don't like handcuffs. Work here for 4 years, then we'll give you some money. Millennials want more holiday, more experience, more travel, more freedom. And so do the generation X, the 20-year-olds. In a big way, the gig economy is you decide when you work. You work a little, you live a little. You don't have an employer. We're seeing gig economy there is so many people that are working here in Kenya as well for crowdsourcing, Upwork. I'll mention some of these, but essentially from Uber saying, I decide how long I work. And this is what the gig economy is doing, is shifting so many things. Here's the biggest taxi company in the world that doesn't own a single taxi company. We have Airbnb, they don't own a single home, yet you can have access to every single home, literally in the world. You've got TripAdvisor, don't own. You see, this is where, even if we look at Amazon, Jeff Bezos does not produce anything. All he's done is provide a platform. So all of this, the way we hire and basically engage skill has shifted so much. So as I said, from Just Eat to you driving yourself, or there's so many modules when it comes to the online. Having said that, these are some of the most popular right now online. In the last 2 years, Bangladesh has managed to secure the online job market by becoming the world's second largest provider. There are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of transcription jobs. You find this, there are so many, excuse me, podcasts, there are so many TV shows, interviews, radio, all of these need to be transcribed. Anything to do with content or copywriting, anything to do with social media, anything really, even home tutoring, we can see a lot of that. Virtual assistant, I can't explain. You can literally make anything between $30 to $50 per hour. I'm interviewing quite a few people, and I've seen many of young people who are working 3-4 days a week and making anything of a minimum between 50 to 200 just by doing some of these social. And you don't need some of these, a lot of skills. Even with a graphic designer, you can pick up some of these skills, teach yourself very quickly. But it's important that you become curious and start looking at really. So we have Upwork, Fiverr, here's Topal. There are so many. Some are very specific for developers. Some lines of business like marketing or IT have easily moved more on the online job market. But you would be amazed how many are.
Umejimute.
I'm being unmuted. No, can you hear me? No, can you? So what you will find is Craigslist, Glassdoor, Amazon. Amazon has some of the biggest online jobs, many online jobs. So does Indeed, Glassdoor. I came across a website that says online corporate jobs in America. Hundreds of employers are putting many corporate jobs online. You no longer have to think just of your location. And there are also jobs for mums. Hire my mum, work at home women, work at homewife.com. There are so many that allow you to actually do some of that. Now, I'm going to finish up by bringing you a little bit more, giving you a little bit of tips on LinkedIn. When it comes to job searching, as I was saying earlier, what majority of us tend to do is use a CV. I understand that the curriculum vitae is still an important document, but even when I share CV with businesses, they will always ask for LinkedIn. Why? LinkedIn gives us a standardization. It gives us how long you've been there, what you've done in a very standardized format. CVs have been so oversold, even I am confused. There are so many different formats, and to get to the information can be very, very frustrating. So your CV usually is analog. I have a very simple in-house tool. We take the job you are aiming for and we take your CV and we ask the tool to read it, and it gives us a match rate. Over 1,000 easily I have tested, and almost all have a less than 20% chance, which means when you click and apply, no matter how suitable you are for the role, the system does not pick you up. So that's why it's important to make it digital. If I want somebody to find my website, I have to make sure that I understand Google Analytics. And if I don't implement that, then where am I going to appear in a search? Also, 90% of our job search is actually just searching online. Click apply, click apply, click apply, click apply. Only 20 to 30% of all the jobs that are online are actually the open roles. Up to 70 to 80% are not even online. How many times do I see businesses interview you and go, you know what, you would be really good for this role, and they literally move around to create role for you. And another thing, a job title means nothing. A job title means nothing because the size of the company, the industry that you work in, all of these different things mean you might have the same job title, but what you do shifts tremendously. So when we just click and apply, click and apply, click and apply, this is a very reactive. I teach you how to manage it proactively. Lives, careers are lives. Our job title itself gives us a status. So I tell you, go beyond click and apply. It will not work for you. I promise you. It will not work for you. The way to do it is to create a digital footprint. And the way to do it is to do it on LinkedIn. By connecting with the right birds of feather and the right network and having it digitized, it means people can search for you and you will appear in the right jobs and in the right. Also, we have this assumption that HR and recruiters are there to find you a job in their company. Newsflash, I'm a gatekeeper. Unless you have what I'm looking for right this moment, I am gonna swipe you left. Let me just put it in the inbox. That's not what I need right now. HR and recruiters are gatekeepers. And moreover, I do not decide whether I hire you or not. Neither does the hiring manager. We will identify you, we will pre-screen you, we will recommend you, we will influence, but we will never make decisions. And only the hiring manager can truly see in depth your skills, not I. I, as a recruiter, have a very good way of quantifying, qualifying, but I will never be able to fully understand the fact that you have Python and a little bit of this and some ISO combined. All of a sudden, the manager is so excited. I'm thinking, what happened? So the HR department, guys, they are not the people who are purchasing you. Your customer in your future next job is your future hiring manager. The person that you are going to report to, the person whose your knowledge, your IP will be of value to them. Also, we limit a lot of our search to our offline network. We have turned globally. How many of us have our current hiring managers reporting to us outside of Kenya? As so many businesses are coming into Africa, and Kenya being a big hub, not just for a startup, but for many, many businesses, and being a very strong economy, you cannot assume that every employer you will have will be locally. So you have to build both, especially your online profile. I'm just gonna stop sharing, and I'm just gonna just share a couple of pointers on LinkedIn, just 2 more minutes, and then I will, bear with me 1 second. It's fine, just so that you understand. Here we go. Just gonna share my screen 1 more time. Hopefully you can see my screen. I'm just trying to bring in my profile. On your profile, when you get onto, when you get onto your LinkedIn profile, there is the dashboard. The dashboard is only visible to you and you alone. When you look at your dashboard, there will always be, sorry, I'm just trying to find my, In your dashboard, there will always be numbers on who has viewed me, and there will be numbers on how many searches have I appeared on. The number in the middle, how many views have I got? This is the and only important number for you to keep an eye on. Most of us will have a big fat zero. Anytime you have a big fat zero within your dashboard, if the middle number is a big fat zero, it means your LinkedIn is not working for you. When I say once you set up your LinkedIn, you will get headhunted on a weekly and a monthly basis, and more importantly, for the right jobs. I promise you, it is much easier, much easier to find a job, COVID or no COVID, whether you are a young graduate or whether you are at the end or the middle of your career. The opportunities are many. Just apply a completely different approach. Think outside the box. There are infographic CVs. There are short videos that you can do on YouTube. People by people. So as I was going to say, build your LinkedIn. I'm going to stop here, June, because I know you guys have quite a lot to do and I've taken quite a bit of a chunk of time. I just want to pause here, see if there's any questions, and I'm happy to do a little bit on LinkedIn if you need me to. But let me just pause there because I've spoken for quite a bit. You can still hear me? Are there, I'm sure there are some questions. Maybe I can look at the comments. No, I don't get paid by LinkedIn. It's okay. LinkedIn is a place to get. I will still go on Twitter to find the very strong comms. I will go on Instagram to find good creatives. I will go on Facebook to really look at good comms or anybody that is doing creative content writing. But I will always come back to your LinkedIn because that's your professional network. Okay. Hello, June. Nice. I'm really not sure about this, but do you have? Okay. LinkedIn has 3 types of subscriptions. Unless you are using it for a business, you don't need a subscription. Unless you are really going to use it to email individuals, a subscription does not bump up your visibility or include you in more searches. There's only one license that gives you access to the whole of the database, and that's the recruiter license. Otherwise, it's LinkedIn. I appear every month on a minimum of 4 to 6 literally search. I appear on 500 to 800 searches per week. I can appear up to 3,000 searches in 1 week. I will get anything between 2,000 to 5,000 people who will come and look at my profile. And this is just through knowing how to position your personal brand. And it's not your skills, but what your skills do. If I am buying a hand cream, I'm not sold the ingredients. I am not sold the ingredients of the hand cream. I am sold what the hand cream will do. It's very important that you understand not your skills, but what your skills do, and actually how to position those by using the right hashtags, keywords, content. And if you do it with strategy, it actually can yield a lot of results. We run finished for 2020. Some new dates are coming for 2021, but we can run. Guys, bring us in. We can run. To do a LinkedIn session takes about 2.5 to 3 hours to fully understand, because it's such a phenomenal tool. How to search, how to post, how to understand each section, the difference between soft words, hard skills, soft skills driven, passionate, motivated, demonstrable, strategic, leadership. I would not search for those words, whereas I would search for Python, project management, reconciliation, client acquisition. I would search for hard skills. So there's a way of digitizing your profile. Right. One of the jobs caught my eye is farming. Farming will become more machine driven. More machines will come. You know, you will come in and harvest. One machine can harvest fields upon fields upon fields upon fields very, very quickly. So machinery is always going to, and if you think about when the first industrial revolution happened, all the humans were in the field. When the first industrial revolution happened, where tractors came into the fields, locomotives came in, the humans were removed from the field, and they were moved where? They were moved into, this is where the industrial revolution, this is where manufacturing started, automation. So they removed us from the field, put us in the manufacturing. So here we are, mass manufacturing shoes, you are clipping, the whole automation. Today's machines doing it. So it's a complete different set of skills. I'm gonna stop and just make sure, June, I don't know if you can hear me, if there's any questions.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I ran into a technical hitch, but I'm back. Thank you so much. As we are continuing as per the program, you are to give us a sort of a challenge or a topic to discuss in our breakout rooms, and then we will come back and we'll give you feedback. 4 people from every group will give feedback, so that you can tell us whether we have actually understood or are we on the right track. So so we'd like to prep for the breakout to last for 10 minutes. So I hope you guys have been concentrating. Miss Natalia, please give us a challenge, your hardest one yet.
Oh, that will be easy. My challenge will be go back to your LinkedIn. I'd like to know if, as a group, you can evaluate each other's LinkedIn profile. And what I want to really measure is this: who has the highest number of connections, and what have they done that is so different than the rest of the group? Why has one person got more numbers than another? And the second thing I'd love people to discuss is, does your current job title fully represent what you are doing? And if your current job title does not represent you, what job title would you choose yourself for right now? Is that a good enough task?
Yes. I hope we have all taken note of that, guys. Yeah, we will be in 4 breakout rooms. You have all had the challenge. Ms. Natalia, if you could just also please type it out in our chat, just pointers, so that we don't have the excuse of saying, oh, I didn't hear that. Yes. So thank you so much, guys. We'll break out for exactly 10 minutes. The breakout is timed, so please be timely. Yes. Thank you.
breakout session.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the plenary. We have discussed in okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, John.
All right, yes, thanks.
Yes, we
Welcome
can hear
back.
you.
Thank you. Welcome back. We are just from our breakout, and we would like for the facilitators who are in charge of this breakout rooms to just present their findings so that our speaker, Miss Natalia, can also evaluate and tell us how we did. So please go ahead, the facilitators. Can you start with group one? Group one facilitator.
Oh, thanks, June. So we did have a good discussion on the first question on evaluating LinkedIn profiles and what people have done to increase the number of views. So we had someone on the group who's had 500 views on his LinkedIn. And some of the things that he has done is, one, he's very proactive in terms of following people, in terms of connecting with people within his field, accepting all invitations to connect that he has, interacting, especially with people who are knowledgeable in his field of work, and just basically interacting with the platform in terms of looking for jobs, in terms of finding out like what's interesting in his field. Yeah. So do I comment on all the questions or one by one?
Okay, please feel free to just highlight the most important bit that you feel are going to strengthen the responses of your group.
Okay, so that's the first question. The other question is in terms of the job titles. So in terms of the job titles, it was mixed reactions. Some people felt that their job titles represent what they do, others don't. So what I found interesting is that one participant in the group actually has all the job titles for everything that he does. So he has an 8 to 5 job, and then he has something that he does in the evening, and he has some volunteer work, and all these are represented on his LinkedIn profile. So I thought that was quite interesting.
Okay, thank you. I think we'll go on to group 2 so that you can have the final verdict by Miss Natalia at the end of the presentation. So group 2, please. Facilitator for group 2.
Hi, John. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I'm not sure if it was group 2, group 3, but yeah, so my group guys were discussing the connections, the guys who are on LinkedIn. We actually found out the highest number of people was 3,500, which was actually shocking because guys were like 26, 15 connections. So the guy with 3,500 followers, connections, he advised us how he got them as much and why it helps him. He said it helps to identify online courses like in finance. So let's say he gets a course to do in finance. He gets to interact with all those people and meet new people in that field. And yeah, so far it's helped him retain his job because his employer can see the qualifications he has on all the online classes he's running. And yeah, someone else from my group also said he has many followers because in the field of communication and PR, it's important for him because he gets to interact with people in the same field. And the question we were having, what we were debating about before time ran out, one of our followers was saying they don't check their connections as much because they feel like LinkedIn is more it's more serious, more, okay, how do I put this? Like they deal with art, so they prefer Instagram and things like Facebook, where it's more visual, other than LinkedIn, where it's not more visual, where people just come and check your history, what you've worked in. But in her field, she finds that she needs more visual aids. So that's what we were debating about before, yeah, the breakout session ended. But yes, we're being told LinkedIn, you get to meet more people, who the people you didn't think you'd ever meet before. Like today, I wouldn't have met Natalia. So yeah, yes, it's a good platform to meet people. Yes, that's it. Thank you, Jen.
Okay, quite interesting feedback we have here. Thank you, Ricky. Can you have group 3 facilitator please give us your feedback from your group?
Hi everyone. So I was the facilitator for group 3, and what we discussed is that we had one person who, I think he's a student, he said that he's never looked into LinkedIn. So I think this session comes in very handy. And then there's two people, myself included. Personally, I'm a student. I haven't really focused on LinkedIn largely. I never knew its purpose. Yeah, and then there are two people who also spoke about how LinkedIn has helped them with their jobs, and they said that they have connections above, connections above 400 to 500, and they said that how they do this, how they got this many connections, is that on their bio they have highlighted all of their skills, and they have focused on having a good bio and listing all the activities that they're undertaking, and yeah, and activities, a good bio, listed all skills, and yeah, and they said that most of these connections are now good connections, like with future employers or people in companies that they are wishing to work in sometime in the future. Yeah, that's what they had in group 3.
Okay, thank you so much, Lewin. Natalia, please give us your feedback and what you think we have done. I don't know, you can rate us, please.
No, it was really interesting. I think I listened in group 2, Ricky's group, and I think definitely when it comes to numbers, 3,500 plus connections. Honestly, I am that definitely goes there. What really stood out for me in that conversation is that you said, I did not do anything specific to grow those numbers. You said it was just being very conscious, literally making a very conscious decision of going on there every day, every day, every day. And LinkedIn is not just a place where you get a job, it's a place where you build global relationships. It's a place where you learn so much new innovation, new technology, new whatever it may be in finance, new, there's so much that you can pick up. For me, again, there is a few things that stand out. You see it's in the name, LinkedIn. LinkedIn. If you are connected to me and I have 25,000 connections, all of my number 2 connection will be your friends. Not just that, but their friends will go up to your 3rd connection. Therefore, minimum you should be aiming for is 2 to 4,000 connections. If you've got more than 15 to 20 years experience, you should be growing that more. The other point that was made is I am a creative. Regardless, your decision makers, they will check you out on Instagram, but the person, the procurement person, the marketing manager, the everything else, and I don't know when you say a creative, I have this saying, there are many marketing people, who will come and say, I'm a great content writer, I'm a great marketeer, I'm a great PR person. If you can't do that for yourself on LinkedIn or on other platforms, how are you going to do that for me? If you are a marketeer, you have to learn to market me. Regardless, yes, there are different platforms to use to showcase your work, but LinkedIn is where you call people to action. It's a place where people say, I'm interested to know more. Of course, they can do that on Instagram, and certain creatives will be on there. But really, it's your audience, it's really your customers, etc. The buyers, I find, all of your NGO monitoring and evaluation, all of they are there. When you think of any profession, whether it's a specialist in law, in compliance or ethics, or you want to find cyber, you can find groups on LinkedIn that will bring you so many connections. But the one thing I will say is that you have to be intentional and you have to be consistent. It's not just about going in and doing that. LinkedIn is not a place you dump your CV. It's a place you can give a heart and a blood pump to it, and you build amazing global relationships. And not just relationships, but not just career opportunities, not just knowledge, but many more other things. But no personal, okay? We've got to be careful. LinkedIn is becoming a little bit, I don't know, slightly different. But yeah, I think group number 2, I think there was 2 individuals there. They done phenomenal, and both have confirmed that I get knowledge, I get job opportunities, I learn a great deal. So I can't explain enough. It's your professional place where you sell it. It will delete the CV, create your LinkedIn.
Please find just said.
Okay.
June, unmute. Unmute.
Okay, so a bit of lip sync there. Sorry. As I was saying, thank you so much, Natalia, for just showing us that LinkedIn is a resource that we have been putting aside, and we can gain so much from it. So I don't know if there are any more questions.
I can see the moment your URL has numbers, it means your URL is vanilla product. First thing you do is clean that URL. Just get your name in there. It's so important. I can leave you guys now?
Yes. We just have a short vote of thanks by Ethan, please.
All right, everyone, I hope you can hear me. Yeah. All right. So to our guest, Natalia, thank you very, very much for that awesome session. I'd say I'm guilty. I haven't touched my LinkedIn, I think, for almost a year now. But anyway, I will work on that now. So thank you very much for that session. I'm very sure we all learned something, and we should work on what we've learned. So then in the start, I had asked us to do introductions, but we are currently over 100 participants. And so to be fair to all concerned, I'd like us to move the introduction to the chat side. Introduce yourself there, give us your name, your club, and your classification, or anything you want to tell us, and that would be awesome. And that is all from me for today, and thank you all for being here. So June, back to you.
Thank you so much, President Ethan. I'm not sure if Natalia has left, but I'd just like to appreciate her for taking us through this training. We honestly really needed it. I needed it. So just thank you again. I have noted that we are quite a number, and I would just like to do a final club role toast, even as we end the meeting. So any presidents in the house? Have you guys introduced yourselves? Anyone who I left out? Okay, I've also been informed that we have been joined by Miss Terry Obat, who is goes under the title of First Lady of the District. Wow, Miss Terry, I'm not sure if you are still with us. We'd like to just get you to just tell us a little bit of something that hopefully you have learned from this session, and also just say something to us. Could you help, please?
You and the assignment and shut.
Mrs. Oba? Okay, I do not think he's with us. So guys, before I go, please note of the shirt I am wearing. Take note of your shirt. Yeah, this is a RYLA match. Guys, I see none of you with this thing. I see none of you with this shirt, please. So I'd like to encourage you guys to just purchase RYLA match and brand yourself. So I'd just like to end this session today. So in recognition of all the Rotary and Rotaract clubs in attendance, I give you Rotary and Rotaract to the world over.
Rotary and Rotaract the world over.
Rotary and Rotaract the world over.
And Rotaract the world over.
Thank you so much, guys. Let's meet here tomorrow at 7. Hoping that your experience today was amazing. Please give us feedback. Thank you.
And Rotaract world over.
Rotary and Rotaract world over.
Where are my fellow Louis makers?
Tuko hapa.
Wewe wakitengela una network.
Mnaji, why are you kwenye hakuna network?
Wacha tufala wewe.
Tukutane kwa ile tent pale juu.
Tent gani?
Nipika